going to be way back here like a big old Jabba.
Why are you saying that? You can also sit on the edge of the couch.
It's too uncomfortable.
We could sit up here and we could be proper ladies. Hello, friends. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Mama.
Since we filmed the Buzzword reading challenge last,
Yes.
you have read some books, I have read some books. Let's discuss. I read 9 Goblins.
I also read 9 Goblins.
Oh my god. I gave it 4 stars.
I didn't give it stars. I just thought it was cute.
Yeah. I also, like, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be rating this.
Yeah.
So, I get it. It was cute. It was fun. It was like, once you close it, you never think about it again. Did you like the goblin who had a teddy bear? Was he the cutest?
And he couldn't talk, and the teddy bear had to talk for him.
Yeah. That was nice.
I like that elf that sings to trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I read The Ending Writes Itself.
You did finally read it?
Yeah. Did you?
Yes.
Okay, did you rated this one because you sent me a little picture. I dropped this off at her house and she texted me within like 24 hours.
Yeah, it was the
and
next
said,
day.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Incredible. So I finished this 5 minutes ago.
Oh, did you?
And I'm giving it 2 stars.
Aww.
I hated it.
I loved it.
I love
loved it.
where we align and where we don't.
Yeah.
What did you like about it?
I can see where it did follow a formula, but it also surprised me. Like, in the middle,
Yeah.
when the person that I was absolutely sure was I was like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What?
So I was interested in like the first third of it,
Uh-huh.
but once it became very clear what the book was doing, I wasn't. Chapters just started to go on, and we started getting characters' backstory, and I was like, I don't need to be doing this right now. Like, this is not interesting to me. What else did you read? Did you finish House of Leaves?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Oh no.
Not for me.
Fair.
At the end, like, I don't remember. Just too gimmicky for me.
Fair. Then you picked up The Robin Hobb. Did you get that?
I am halfway through that one.
Okay. Are you liking it?
Yeah.
Not enough to finish it in like a couple days, so.
It's not put downable. I find her writing, or her style, very dense.
Yeah, okay. I've never read from her, so I have no idea.
Okay.
We're clearly not at the bookstore today.
Clearly. Well.
It's not a store.
Well.
I reorganized my bookshelves recently. I have to figure out what I'm reading for the one-word title. And wings on the cover is the theme. And that's going to be a challenge for me. But I think there's something on my TBR shelf.
Yeah, there won't be anything on here. Because
Right.
This is all stuff you've read.
This is for you.
This is for me.
And then we have to go into my room for else. For else. What are you hunting for? I have a little list of books that like we have mentioned over time together.
Yes.
That I've been like, haven't you read that? And you've been like, shut up. You keep mentioning this book to me. You keep assuming that I read it and I haven't. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, but I own it. And there's a bunch of books that you mentioned and I'm like, don't buy that. I own it. But can we remember any of those in this moment?
Oh, I want to put my hands on Mistborn.
Okay, Mistborn is way up there. And then, is there not another V.E. Schwab that you
There
need to get
is
to?
Addie LaRue something.
You have not read Addie
I have
LaRue.
not.
That's the book that I keep thinking you've read. Because you read Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil.
Yes.
And you read that trilogy.
Yes.
There's another trilogy, though. Have you read that?
Yes.
Vicious.
Yes. I think so.
The third book isn't out yet, I don't think. So
Okay,
maybe you
so
the
I've
first
read
two?
more than 3. So I read the trilogy and then I started the second trilogy.
Okay.
I think is what's happening.
There's Vicious, there's something, and then Victorious comes out like next month.
Nice.
So you've already read that, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where that is, but apparently I've already given it to you. I feel like there's something else around here. Oh, I just remembered one. This one.
Yes.
It's so weird because, like, I don't feel like I've seen this talked about anywhere. It was a really random book that I picked up called The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby, and then you added it to your Goodreads like the day after I bought it, and I was like, how
So weird.
strange.
I don't remember why. I saw something somewhere.
That's so funny. I don't know where I heard of it. You don't know where you heard of it? This is just a magical book now that we have to buddy read.
Yeah.
Mistborn. Oh my god. And then Abbey LaRue is right there.
Ooh, it's a big one. Okay, I am set.
I also have a cardboard box of books that I'm about to donate. I don't know if you want to browse through it. Okay, this is about dead bodies being used as companions for people. This is a horror that Stephen King blurb. This one, 101 essays that will change the way you think.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay. This is another one, Stephen King.
Chasing the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. This one is a mystery. If you like the ending rights itself, you could like the Golden Spoon. This takes place at like a cooking competition and somebody dies.
I will take them.
Okay.
But I feel absolutely no pressure to have bread by
good.
next month.
Good. When we're at the bookstore together, Mama is very dedicated to finding things that fit my prompts. She's very helpful.
You said one word title?
Yeah, I do believe there might only be 2.
Yeah. So there's this.
Yeah, I just bought that one. And it's big.
And this.
I do think that's all. I have a couple more, but these are her other videos. Okay, well, how do I pick then? What do I do? Oh no, that's it? I think if I start one and I don't like it, I switch to the other anyway.
Well,
so.
obviously.
Okay.
What do you start with, right hand or left hand?
Well, I feel like you're right-handed, so you'd probably hold a heavier one in your right hand. I was right. Okay, this is Canon by Paige Lewis. In this moment, I don't remember the plot. Actually, we could both like this. There's like, look, there's an adventure guy. There's a roller coaster. There's a person with a weapon. It kind of looks like The Stand. You know the cover of The Stand where it's like two warring people.
This guy looks like a samurai to me.
Yara can't comprehend why God has chosen them to slay Dominic, the ruthless leader of the army of bad guys. It feels like self-aware in the same way that, remember the Dark Lord one?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of feels like that. Cast out by their family and reeling from a destructive relationship, Yara has never felt weaker, but with nothing left to lose, they strike a deal. Abandoning their solitary days of embroidery and obsessive cleaning. That's us. Yara reluctantly embarks on a perilous odyssey designed to prepare them for the daunting mission ahead. I'm intrigued.
All right, then.
But then Honey is about just like an evil lady who wants to kill everyone with bees, I think. And the thing about that is there should be a bee on the cover and then it would fit for my wing prompt.
But
alas.
Alas.
Okay, wings.
Wings.
I think I might have to go into the TBR closet.
Oh. There's a
What?
bird.
Oh my god! I really thought we wouldn't find anything. Birds, butterflies, bees. There's not gonna be a dragon book, obviously. Fairies. That's it.
Gargoyles have wings.
Ooh, is there gargoyles on that? There should be gargoyles on this cover. That'd be cute, right? Oh, also, we should talk about, in these challenges, do pictures inside here count to you guys? Because I think they do. So if I flip this open and found an airplane, which I didn't, we should count it. Also, I kind of think implied wings is okay. Like, if there's a plane and you can see most of the plane, but you can't see the actual wing of the plane, I think it counts.
You're reaching.
Oh, birds!
Yeah.
Oh my god, more birds. I do want to read. Wait, this is one word. This is one word. There was another one.
Okay.
Ooh, I could kill two
You could.
birds
Hey,
with one stone.
There's a penguin.
Okay, next question. Do publishing logos count? Well, I feel like they don't. Yet I'm saying a plane counts, even if you can't see the wing.
Yeah, the published thing is not,
That's not part of the
it's
cover.
not integral.
Oh, I forgot about that! That's a big ass wing! Oh my god, there's another one.
Okay, so now we've got a couple that have the one word title and a wing.
Wait, I have way more options than I ever thought. Thank you for finding.
That's all.
Thank you for finding my wings. It is raining. Can you tell? I'm at the baseball field. Liam has a game, and there's an hour until the game starts, and usually I would just sit and wait and chat and whatever, but it's pouring rain. In fact, the game might actually get canceled. I don't think so. They have this rule that, like, as soon as they hear thunder or they see lightning, like, this is like the province-wide probably rule, or maybe even countrywide, I don't know, you have to wait at least 30 minutes before starting play again. So there could be some game delays, but I'm not sure how many game delays they allow, because we've never actually had a thunderstorm. We've had lots of rain, but we've never had like a proper thunderstorm during a game, I don't think. So here's what I'm reading. It was kind of, obviously I found it on the shelves, but it feels kind of like an impulsive pick because I randomly decided to just read the first chapter of a couple things, get my bearings, decide what I wanted to read. And this one I read first because I've already read the first chapter of this. And I figured, let me remind myself what happened in that first chapter and why I put it down to begin with, and then I'll move on to all the other books. But it captured my attention, and now I'm already on chapter 12, almost halfway through. So Son of the Morning is your really classic story of a girl who has some type of magic, but no one will tell her what kind of magic she is, and it's not until she gets introduced to these big brooding men that she learns the magic that she has. Enter Lucy and Levi, otherwise known as Lucifer and Leviathan. She is indeed in love with the devil, but to her, he's just some sexy man. And in fact, from the demon devil's perspectives, if anybody knows that they are who they are, then they have to be put to death. But this is the most insta-love book in existence, and he wants to protect our main character, Galilee. The second they meet, he's like, oh my god, this is the girl for me. He goes down on her in like a museum. The devil and the demon like brotherhood are trying to protect this artifact, and her friends, just as humans in the real world, are interested in this artifact and they're looking for it, and he is just like a security guard at the museum, but turns out he's the devil. So all the other princes of hell have given him like 48 hours with this girl. And so the first half of the book has only taken place in like 24 hours. And they're completely madly head over heels in love with each other, and he'll do anything to protect her. But he knows that there's like this countdown of when the Brotherhood can step in. And I don't really remember what he's trying to accomplish in these 48 hours, or he's just trying to like spend as much time with her as possible, or he's trying to uncover what her magic is because he knows she like smells different. And when she touches him, it like kind of burns, and he's never had that before. So in a dangerous way, but also in a sexy way. Now it's introducing this idea that maybe Leviathan could also become involved in this like couple, because it's talking about how strong the men and their bond is, and how like in love with each other they kind of are too, maybe. Definitely can't remember why I put this down the first time, because I am pretty hooked at this point. I've always liked Akwaeke Emezi's writing, but their last publication I really, really didn't like, so I think I was hesitant to continue. But this is just a really classic kind of paranormal romance, and I haven't even read that many paranormal romances. And in the sea of romantasy, I think this is one that I could be into. So I'm just gonna sit here for the next hour and read a little bit more, and then watch the game, and then see what I want to do from there.
Oh, shit.
I'm still in the vehicle. Hello. It's the next day. It's just a crazy baseball week. And this is his last day of games before playoffs. And I think his team's in like the second position. So that's exciting. The sunset yesterday was beautiful after the rain, and Liam got a couple good hits. At this point in the season, the teams are all so strong that even like getting to first base feels like an accomplishment. So Liam played pretty well. I can't even remember if they won or lost. I feel like it was pretty close. And now today they're playing 2 games back to back, so we'll be at the field for like 6 hours. And that means I'll get a good amount of canon in, because I did start this. Oh, sure, bookmark just slid right out. How am I gonna find my place? No idea. Well, I finished Son of the Morning, and I was like hooked. I was interested in the beginning. Unfortunately, what I think I would call the first half, when I was having a good time, was like an anticipatory good time, because there were little things that I wasn't loving, but it was with the understanding that the book was going to build all of this stuff to be really good. And yes, it was that in the insta-love capacity, because I know a lot of people will pick this up and go, it's crazy that just love at first sight, they're instantly attracted, like they're instantly going to do anything for each other. Do we really see the connection? Do we, like, most people want a slow burn, most people want to see some tension, and that's not what this book wanted to deliver, but it makes sense. And you understand that, like, at the beginning anyway, that this makes sense for the relationship, but then as things get explored, identity-wise and history speaking, everything just totally makes sense, and this is how this situation would play out. Like, it does not make any sense for these characters to spend, like, months pining over each other or building any tension. It's like, once you meet this person and these things are happening, like, that's it. But the other things that I don't really want to talk about, there were other little elements to it, my husband's back, that didn't really get, it's not that they, is he mocking me? Didn't get explained, but I just don't know if Akwaeke Emezi cared enough about everything that was happening in here. I think it's just that some things weren't worth the wait as much as I thought we were building to more. And once we got into, because you can't avoid like all of the action and the drama that's going to come with this clash between people and entities, with the high stakes and like the actual reference biblical explanations here, I just don't know that this author cared enough about that. I don't know that they wanted to write about that, because it just lacked a lot of passion in a pretty significant chunk, and I just couldn't wait for it to end. There was a moment around halfway through, like right after I updated you before, that felt like a natural kind of end point to the story, and it felt like things were kind of wrapping up, and there was still half the book to go. And so we had to just do a whole bunch of references and history and connections, and it just didn't feel like they were that interested in writing it. But then like the final quarter, oh my God. Sorry to be explicit. Oh, what the heck? I read a chicken nugget smut in a recent vlog. The sex scene at the end of this book, that was hot as hell. Like really, truly the best part of this book. And I just think that for me, Akwaeke Emezi thrives in a more like imaginative fantasy rather than like pre-existing lore and like religion. But I did really have a good time for a lot of it, there, and then it just dragged, but this was necessary. So I don't know how to rate this one. I kind of feel like I'm gonna land on a 3.75. I have fond feelings about it. I just think that this maybe should have been a series and things should have been drawn out more. And even because like once these characters meet, everything like starts. And so maybe you could have taken an entire like 3/4 of this book for them to meet, and then it could have been a series where all of the drama and the reveals played out later on. But I liked this enough, and I'm glad that I read it. It's a pretty memorable one, but maybe it's because I haven't read anything quite like this before. Oh my God, my memory card was full. Hello. I just kept thinking though while I was reading, if I knew more of the references and they meant something to me, like I had read the Bible and religion was a big part of my life, I wonder if it would have been better or worse. Like, that's what I'm so curious about. I want to read some Goodreads reviews to see how other people connected with it, like, personally, and how it affected their views of the book as a whole.
They got me made a new one just for me.
What do you mean made a new one?
There's a new smoothie.
There's a new smoothie?
Pineapple, banana, peanut butter, and chocolate vanilla.
Your teeth are blue.
Spirulina.
So I've completed this one, and I was thinking of trying a bunch of different books, and then again, I just figured I wouldn't, and I committed to this before I even started it because it's also a really religious focused one, and now that's the theme of the vlog. And I thought that this was gonna be ambitious. I felt like I was embarking, based on the synopsis, upon like reading the Odyssey. Like this was going to be really challenging to read, and it's definitely not. It's very easy. I'm getting through it really quickly, and I'm having such a good time. We have this one character who has been tasked with something by God to accomplish, taking down Dominic. Is Dominic a real religious reference? I have no idea.
Just sounds like a name for demon.
Okay. And that character has OCD, and through their childhood, like contamination OCD, and was constantly stressed about germs. And their mother told them that holy places are clean. She said that so they would stop feeling like so anxious when they were sitting like at church and having their bodies touching the pews and stuff and constantly going to the bathroom and washing their bodies. Their mother was like, this is a holy place and holy places are naturally clean. Like, don't worry about it. And instead of easing that worry, it kind of exacerbated them praying, and they're constantly talking to God about like, make this clean, like I want this to be clean, and like this connection. And so God apparently has been listening and thought that now this character Yara is the perfect person to accomplish this goal. Anyway, I'll check it again when I'm like halfway through and can probably explain things even better, but I'm gonna go watch baseball, read a little bit of this. We'll see what happens.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
Here is where we're at in canon. Approaching the end. I am having a good time, and I keep thinking, like, I wonder how other people think of this book. That's what's taking up most of my mind. I'm just very intrigued, and I don't like to check Goodreads until I've finished a book, usually, unless there's something that I'm actively like fighting against in the book and I'm like, should I continue? How are people feeling specifically at the 50% mark? This one, I just want to know the vibe for other people, because I feel as though, because it's not quite what I expected, other people might feel the same, but in a negative way, and I don't feel negative about it not being a grand epic. I just wanted to give you an idea of like kind of what it looks like and why it's not as intimidating as it might seem. Like, it's not that dense because it's got large spacing, it's got like a lot of white space, and just general kind of vignettes that are short, and lots of dialogue that is spaced out a lot, and there's a lot of books within the book. So it makes for a really quick read, but not one that I'm necessarily reading that quickly, because it's not like a favorite. It's not unputdownable. It's not like totally capturing my attention, but it's good. And I feel like I'm probably gonna rate it the same as the last book that I read. It's hard because I don't even think I can pinpoint exactly what I'm liking about it, but I can pinpoint things that I'm not, so it's gonna sound more of a negative review than it is. But I think, and I've said this before, that we should be following all of the characters or one of the characters, or maybe two of the characters. I don't know how I phrased it before. When there is what seems like two main characters, that's who we got introduced to, I expect to just be following them. And then when a book introduces a bunch of other side characters, but they don't feel like side characters, they feel just as important as the one or two main characters we've gotten, I'm like, okay, well then just give us all of the perspectives equally. It's not perspective, it's written in third person, but like, give me the focus equally everywhere, and like specifically give me chapter by chapter focusing on each person, because I'm supposed to focus on these two people, but they each have a person alongside them that feels equally as important. But I find myself feeling like distracted by what's going on with them because I want to get back to the two that I feel like I'm supposed to be focused on. The other person who's the main character and is mentioned in the synopsis is Adrena. She is a prophet, and she does things for God, and she communicates with all of these people and answers their questions and helps them out. And she feels like she should be given more responsibility than she is. And so she takes it. She has decided that she is going to be the one to slay Dominic. And she's going on her own journey and misleading people in order to take her along with them. And the people involved there and the other character involved with Yara, I just feel like they are not being utilized at the amount that I wish that they were. It's at both times too little and too much of all of those characters. I really like Adrena as a character because she has decided what she wants and she is making a push for it. She's becoming the co-captain of an army, but she's also just like a fun character to follow because she's having these back and forth thoughts about what she wants to do and who she wants to be, and like literally moment by moment, should I answer these pilgrims' letters or should I masturbate? Like, she's just a very funny mind to be in. And then there's another character, a whale, who's very prominent. And I love listening to the whale's voice in the audiobook while we were at baseball. I was listening, and that was very fun. I don't have any more hours to use for an audiobook, so I am just continuing physically today. But the whale's probably like my favorite part of the book. The relationship there with Yara and getting people to climb in his mouth to go on these journeys, and like his goals and needing sunscreen. It's also another fun dynamic. But I do feel like it's a little chaotic and kind of in a fun way. It reminds me a little bit of reading like Gideon the Ninth, not as far as plot, but writing style. It's got that omniscient, I never know how to pronounce that, vibe that's like, I bet you're wondering what this person looks like. You can picture them like this. And it's like they know everything that everyone is thinking, and they know things that are to come, and I just like that it's a little tongue-in-cheek. It also actually reminds me a little bit of, I was gonna say one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies when I was 12, because I don't think I've rewatched it. I definitely haven't rewatched it in my adulthood, but Dogma. I actually think that if you mix the two books that I'm reading for this vlog, you kind of get a vibe of Dogma, and it's really just making me want to rewatch that. I don't know why that matters. What I think will make this not a book for everyone is I don't think it's taking these concepts and really going deep with them. A lot of things feel kind of surface level, and when you're picking up a book with a lot of like religious imagery, you're gonna expect a lot of commentary alongside it. And I kind of wonder, and I am assuming that if I go to the Goodreads, based on what I've read so far and the way that it's handling topics and introducing themes, but not doing anything necessarily deep and unique with them. I do feel like if I went to its Goodreads page, I would see reviews that said similar things as reviews for yesteryear, which is like, this book is trying to be this, or this book wants to be this, but it's not succeeding. And I just think there's a really interesting thing happening in publishing right now, or like book reviewing spaces, because there's this rise of anti-intellectualism where people are talking about books in a way that is like, you're looking too deep into this, like just shut your brain off. Reading is supposed to be for fun. I shouldn't have to encounter all of these themes when I'm reading a book, and I didn't recognize these themes in fact when I was reading a book. And like, why can't you just have fun? Not everything needs to be this deep. We don't all need to be this woke. Like, let's just have fun reading, and you're taking things too seriously. And that's fine as an individual, but to say that about an entire like world is obviously silly. Like, we shouldn't in fact just be turning our brain off and having fun. Okay, so but then also with the people that have those opinions, there's the opposite side of things where people will say, no, like our books need to teach us things, and we need to think about the themes of the books that we're reading, and we need to take in the information. And that's correct. But I also think you can go too far in that direction, saying like every book needs to say something, and we need to take everything so seriously, and themes need to be like explained and explored on this really intellectual level all the time. And that's fine, again, individually. Like, if you only want to read books that you can have deep intellectual thoughts about, for sure. But to say that then about the entire industry, I think is silly. And so when there's a book like this that on the surface sounds like it might be the book for those people, I think they might be disappointed by the fact that this is just kind of a silly, fun book. Yes, we have themes and topics that you can think about, but I don't think that it's the book that some people will go into it assuming it to be, but might interpret it as a book that is trying to do all of those things, and will say like, oh, this book tried to do this, and this book wanted to be this. And I don't think this book is trying or wanting to be anything more than it is. And I think it more is for the silly, goofy people. And I think the same is true with yesteryear. And this isn't me saying like, oh, if you didn't like a book, you're wrong. Obviously, anybody, I'm a hater at my core. I think anybody can like a book for any reason. But I think there's people who are saying like, this book failed at something, or this book was trying so desperately to be this but clearly wasn't like well researched, or well this, or they didn't do this right. And like I think that book is exactly what it wanted to be, and I think it was that thing for a reason. And not to insult any authors, but I just don't think every book is trying to be the next like classic piece of literature. And I don't know why we're putting the pressure on these books to be that. Like sometimes they're just a silly, goofy time. And I do feel as though, because in every conversation there is like something to be said about the misogyny of it all, I just don't know that men in publishing get this pushback as much when they're writing like satire, when they're writing more fun, goofy things. You might not look at either of these books and think that they're fun and goofy, but I kind of think they are. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it and maybe I'll have something else to say. I don't know. I just talked for 15 minutes about kind of nothing. Final rating, now that I have completed it, is a 3.75. I feel good about a 3.75. I really liked the concept of this book. I liked the characters. I loved the writing. I didn't love the structure. I didn't like how we necessarily got places or how we were being told the story. Like I do, literally like voice wise, like the way the book was narrated, but not scene by scene, just like how it all came together. Oh, and I was right about other people's interpretation of the book. It has mostly positive reviews, but I just had a feeling while I was reading that like there are people who definitely aren't gonna like it and who in fact are gonna like insult readers in their reviews in a way that's like, how could you have possibly thought this book was so good and so poignant and so incredibly deep with these themes, when in fact people who rate it highly, it doesn't necessarily mean that they took a lot away from it thematically. Anyway, something that's interesting about this book is that the time period, like it is clear, but it also feels kind of unclear at the same time. The way it describes itself is really interesting. And because of that, it gets to talk about a lot of modern things, like climate change and the negative impacts that we're having on the ocean and how this whale feels about things. The book even talks about like our expectations as readers and how it should be structured and like how much violence we are probably anticipating and the expectations that we have of the story that we're actually consuming. And I just thought it was really fun. I love an aware book like that, that is like aware of itself. It's another one that if I had read the Bible, would I like this kind of campy take on the biblical canon more or less? I don't know. But I've been looking into the story that this seems to be inspired by, and I just think it's interesting because this feels like a really unique story, but at the same time it's not. But the way everything is written and put together is obviously very intentionally done by this author, Paige Lewis, who I will pick up again for sure. And it's fun because plot-wise, this isn't something that I would necessarily pick up a lot. Like the idea of two warring groups and these two different people who are trying to accomplish this task, it doesn't sound the most interesting to me, but because of the way the synopsis was pitched and just the fun nature that I thought was going to be in here and in fact was, it turned out to be something that I quite liked. I wanted to love this book. Like I wanted it to be a favorite. It just didn't quite get there. And I like that Book of the Month and other book box companies pick up books that aren't necessarily going to be like 100% crowd pleasers for everyone. But I feel like when you pick up a book chosen by a book club or a book box, you're assuming that they are saying this is like a classic, like this is something that everyone has to read and everyone will collectively love. But if that really was the sole purpose and sole goal, I don't think they would pick ones that are questionable at all or obscure or even a little bit. And this one is. But I also think it really fits in with the current climate of publishing and what people are looking for as far as characters and the things that we want commentary on for many of us. Anyway, that is it for the Buzzword vlog of the month. I did the wings, I did the one-word title, and next month, I don't even know what it is. But let me know what you read and what you're planning. The buzzword is occupations in the title, jobs, anything you can make money doing, but also I think some people introduced certain like ideas that maybe you can't get paid, but you'd still consider it a job. So that one's a little open to interpretation. And metallic elements on the cover. So I will be thinking about that, and I will see you next month with my decisions. Bye!